watching Artida National, coming to you live from Moscow. I'm Marina Joshi. Welcome to the program, and we start with breaking news. So Russia's Investigative Committee has released the name of a key witness into the downing of MH17 over East Ukraine last July. Let's cross now to Neil Harvey for more on this story. Neil, do tell us, what do we know about this man and what's his story?
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Marina. Yes, investigators in Russia have named Evgeny Agapov as the man who is their key witness in the MH17 disaster. Agapov is a Ukrainian Air Force officer, to be more precise, an aircraft mechanic who has told investigators that he was working on that fateful day of the disaster, July 17th of last year, and he has sworn that he saw a Ukrainian fighter jet that was in the area of the disaster at the time, and that it returned back to base minus its full payload of weaponry. And I believe that we actually have a copy of his testimony. Let's take a listen to exactly what he said.
Самолеты летали регулярно, так само, как и прежде. Вернулся один самолет, летчик, капитан Волошин, вылез из кабины. В дальнейшем ушел он с остальными летчиками. Услышав фразу от него «самолет не тот». Ближе к вечеру узнали, что был сбит в этот день Боинг, пассажирский самолет. Вечером, ближе к ночи, уже к 11 ночи, приземлился крайний борт. Мы обслуживали самолеты, подвешивали на него средства поражения, боекомплект. Вблизи самолета находились летчики, руководитель полета Дякив, подполковник, и капитан Волошин. С ними были еще двое, фамилии не знаю. Фраза была от Дякива к Волошину, вопрос был, что там с самолетом, на что Волошин ответил, самолет оказался в ненужное время и в ненужном месте.
Russian investigators say that Agapov gave that testimony under a polygraph, and that he passed the lie detector test, and that he is now being kept under state protection. This latest disclosure follows information we received just yesterday from the Russian defence contractor Almaz-Antey, who conducted their own private investigation into MH17. They say that, having looked at the debris from the crash site, that in their opinion, if it was a missile that shot down the plane, it could only have been a particular type of Buk M1 missile, one that they say they no longer manufacture, that isn't actually possessed by the Russian military, but is in the possession of the Ukrainian forces. Although they did add that whilst that was the most likely scenario in the case of a missile, they didn't rule out the possibility that the flight may have been downed by other means, such as by another plane. This is all extra information, of course, for the Dutch investigators, the official investigation. We're expecting to hear their final report in the coming months.
Sure, Neil. As you just mentioned, there's a lot going on in terms of investigations, and as we see, new revelations are being made there. Neil Harvey, for now, thanks so much for keeping us up to date. And we can now get more perspective on this story from political analyst Alexander Pavich, who joins us now. Thanks so much, Mr. Pavich, for joining us. So, what are your thoughts on the impact of these revelations today that they're going to have on the investigation?
Well, whoever is after the truth about this whole tragic incident will be very, very valuable information for them. But I just want to emphasize, this is not new information. This is practically confirmation of testimony that appeared last July, just a few days after this incident. Namely, we had an OSCE monitor, a Canadian of Ukrainian origin, who testified before Canadian national television that he saw pockmarked debris of the downed airplane, which indicated, which looked like machine gun fire, which could have only come from a warplane that was nearby. We also had a Western aviation blog called The Aviationist, only 4 days after the crash, literally admitting that there were Ukrainian warplanes in the vicinity of the passenger flight. Also, it's known that the passenger plane diverted from the usual flight path that was taken by passenger planes just the day before on the same flight. This one was diverted directly over the zone over the wartime zone. So we have all these indicators that were available over a year ago. So to have a witness come forth and actually an eyewitness to confirm all this is a very huge development.
Sure, absolutely, Mr. Pavic. As you just said, there were so many different accounts or different versions, and now we have the mechanics revelations there. But, you know, what's likely to happen here is there are so many leads here, so many sort of possibilities that the investigation will consider. I mean, what are your thoughts? Where will this be getting?
Well, the thing that makes everyone uncomfortable, I think, is the fact that this official investigation is taking so long. And I think that we can safely bet that had anything been found to implicate Russia directly or pro-Russian so-called forces around Donetsk and Lugansk, I think the Commission would have come out with the proof by now, but they haven't. So I think that they don't have anything to implicate Russia with, and I think this is very uncomfortable news for them now. And I think the Western mainstream media is going to try very hard to marginalize this new proof and maybe even try to discredit this witness. But I think whoever's after the truth, especially the families of the victims, will have to listen very carefully to what this new witness said.
Well, absolutely. As you just said, we'll have to listen very carefully to what this new witness will have to say. And we're also awaiting the official results of the Dutch investigation. Thanks so much, Mr. Pavic, for now, for giving us your thoughts on this issue.